What is up, everybody? Tuberversity here today. So we're gonna talk about the Sony fanboy who is. It's like they just don't learn. So this Sony fanboy wants Xbox to be gone and says, "Hey, what would the game industry look like if it was just Sony and Nintendo? Personally, I think it would be just fine." So they don't realize that if Xbox isn't in the picture and that Sony can just do whatever, they can be completely lazy if they want to. They don't have to try as hard. So it would not be as great as it is right now. They think it's gonna be greater if Xbox just went away and just died off. It's not gonna be better at all. So they could probably be charging like $100 per video game. They wouldn't have achievements. They wouldn't. Let me see. They probably wouldn't have accessibility options for their games. They wouldn't have the Game Pass equivalent they have right now with the Now tiers. Because you got to remember, during the PS2 generation, when that PS2 was selling amazingly well, and they entered the PS3 generation, the PS3 wasn't that great, and they charged a lot for it as well too, and they wanted people to work two jobs, I believe, to get the PS3. So they didn't try as hard. you could tell how they didn't try as hard because it wasn't that great compared to the 360 when it first launched. So you don't want that again. Like, you really don't want that again. But apparently they just say, hey, Xbox is trash, and only Sony and Nintendo would be great for the game industry when it wouldn't be. That would be terrible. That'd be terrible for the game industry because clearly Sony has no competition. Because Nintendo isn't really competition to Sony right now. Their games are so different, and mostly doing like handheld stuff or like stuff that's not pushing the limits of hardware. Like Nintendo's not really pushing that limit, so there's like no competition right there. So you kind of want Xbox in the mix to kind of balance Sony out. And that's why Sony is making so many amazing games right now. That's why these games they call amazing. That's why they're out, because you need that competition between Sony and Xbox. So let's see what some of these guys have to say about this. This first says, "I think it would be better. The industry without Sony would also be just fine. The devs will be bought by whatever big company and still make their games. But at least Sony nickel and diamond tactics would be a good riddance. They never did things that worked like Xbox with smart delivery, 360 backwards compatibility, etc." This verse says, "Nah, Sony needs the competition. One reason PlayStation is as good as it is because of Xbox. Nintendo operates in a space of their own and look at them, have quality games, always at full price, and hardware not even powerful as last gen. I'm thankful we have Xbox in gaming." Yeah, that is kind of true. Like, especially the last part, Nintendo is in their own space. They can do whatever they want to do, to be honest, because they can make their AAA games, but it's not like real high quality compared to like the PlayStation or the Xbox first party games. They can do what their own. They can do what they can do. They can live in their own space, and their audience will buy their games. So it's definitely different right there. Yeah, because people are still complaining about certain Nintendo games not being like on the highest quality compared to like everybody else's stuff. So, now Xbox keeps competition going. If 360 hadn't started so well in the 7th gen, Sony would have tried so hard in 8th gen, the PS4 wouldn't have been so good. Yeah, that is kind of true. Because the PS3 wasn't as well received as the PS2. The PS4 was a lot better. They did worked hard on PS4 with the games on that generation. So that is kind of true. It's like, I don't even want to know what Sony was like without the competition. It wouldn't be good right now, to be honest. It would be just fine. Xbox has already shown that they can't compete with Sony or Nintendo, so that is why you guys talk about Xbox every single day, because it just can't compete, huh? That makes a lot of sense. It is just Sony and Nintendo. Microsoft hasn't put out anything worthwhile in more than a decade, saying the same people that complain about Game Pass and Xbox on a daily basis. We will only have over-the-shoulder games. This sounds terribly boring. There will be no trophy system, no hard drives that turn to SSDs, no PlayStation Plus Essentials. It will be a PS2 without better graphics. You'll be paying $100 per game. Yeah, most likely. LOL, it was doing well before 2001, but I think Sony in particular started improving more or less beyond the PS3 screw-ups because of the American competition. Isn't it like that already? Microsoft has the presence of a dirt cloud this year. So Microsoft has no impact on the industry, is what this clown is saying. This guy is a complete clown. Like really. So that Stray game they was bragging about playing on their PS Now premium service. What do you think they got the PS Now premium tier service from? It's like it's clearly a imitation of Xbox Game Pass. But okay. Or these platinum trophies they brag about getting, or these trophies they brag about getting, as like a copy of Xbox achievement points. Um, what is this? It's a reminder just for a game in 2022. $70 is a standard for a AAA game, man. The Sony fanboy is smiling right here. 2024, $100 is a standard for AAA gaming. 2026, $135 is a standard of AAA gaming. Okay. I'm surprised Microsoft has stayed in as long as they have. Back in the day, it seemed like Sega, I guess it would be a huge blow for the industry, but everything survived and thrived. It was just PC, Sony, Nintendo, and mobile. I think the industry would be just fine. When was that? I'm trying to see. GameCube generation? When was this? It was just PC, Sony, and Nintendo. PS1 generation, maybe? I'm assuming even it's like PS1 generation. I don't know back then, but yeah, but even right now, that would be terrible. That would be a terrible. That wouldn't go over too well, to be honest. I don't understand why y'all don't want Xbox as a console. You say they have no games, so what are you afraid of? I don't get it. Xbox has no games, and then buy studios to make them games, and y'all scream monopoly. You guys are pathetic. Your guys are pathetic, which is incredible. You be playing the story mode 20 times over, acting like you're having fun. Wait, that's what Sony fanboys do. I'm assuming that's a reference to the Last of Us remake. A lot of these guys have played the game, but somehow when a remake comes out, they're gonna like give themselves that Men in Black treatment with that, and make them forget that they played that game and play it again, and act surprised when they see certain parts of the game. I don't know. Will the circle jerking ponies ever go away? Why would you want less options and less competition? I don't know why. It's just like weird. They love Sony so much they would rather have less competition. It seems like. Oh look, another idiot. This is what I think if it was just Microsoft and Nintendo. Sony wants to screw people over with $70 games and rehashes of remakes for $70 and sell you GT 7 with microtransactions. I would say this industry would be better off without PlayStation. I hope they do not, and I hope they do bow out. I wouldn't even go that far. Like you still need PlayStation around too. You need all three of them around, to be honest. I have to find out the how because we see how they treat customers with Microsoft around. Yeah, the customer service isn't that great, even with Microsoft's competition. So it'd be a lot terrible if they were your only form of gaming, a AAA gaming at that. Damn, I swear I've given more of these to ponies than anyone else. Then this is the internet, the stupidest post of the day. I think Xbox was important in pushing Sony during the sixth generation of game consoles. I also think Microsoft was crucial because of Windows and DirectX. But if I had to choose just one to die, it would be Xbox. That's not even close. Halo and I don't know, Jet Set. I don't know what GSRF stands for. And Flight Sim aren't all that. Okay. It'll be bad without any of the big three. Competition as aspires innovation. Less AstroTurf and cult-like console warriors, that's for sure. Of course you would, you fanboy. I don't get it. Like, each time these guys make a post, they just continue to get roasted by the vast majority of people commenting, but they keep going and keep going and going. That's fascinating. It'll be awful, just awful. People argue about which plastic box is better. Okay, that's the salary of a clown. These guys are doing it for free, he says. Okay. Gaming would be even more expensive. It definitely would be. They would be charging so much more, and then again, Sony guys, they act like they want to pay more for whatever reason. They want to pay more money for video games, which is weird, but they definitely charge a lot more. Um, PlayStation will get too comfortable and probably popping out the same franchises over and over again with hardly any incentive to push the envelope or change them in any meaningful way. Terrible, no other consoles, no PC market, no third parties. Yuck, I like Sony and Nintendo, but that sounds terrible. Sony is the only one right now that gives us true next-gen experiences. Yeah, with the countless director's cuts and remakes and remasters, like I'm pretty sure that's the true next-gen experience right there. Innovation was stifled, that's for sure. Sony lost money, may look to put more games on Xbox soon. Gaming would probably be dead with no technical advancements that Xbox usher in. That Sony would just desperately copy. That Sony just desperately copies and gives you a mediocre bootleg version. Yeah, so I'm included right here. Most people don't like the idea of there only being Sony and Nintendo, which who would? Because there's less competition at that point, which is not good for gaming. But I am gonna conclude it right here. Will these Sony guys ever learn that you need Xbox in the arena as well? Who knows? But definitely want to see your comments down below. Leave a like for this video. That's all. Thanks for watching, and peace.